Hello folks, welcome back to another game review, and as you can tell by the title of the video, I am being joined by a very special guest. Guest, introduce yourself, sir.
How's everybody doing? You're doing shitty? Good, because I am too. Anyways, greetings one and all. Welcome back to another review here on, I was going to say the incorrect channel, but welcome to another review on Austin's page. And today, we're going to be reviewing a game in a brand new series that just started. It is from the
Yep,
makers from Until Dawn. It is known as the Dark Pictures Anthology. And the first installment in their whole series is Man of Medan.
correct. I originally was going to do this review by myself, but after playing the game with them, by the way, we've been in this game 3 different times on the co-op campaign, I realized, you know what, this game is not only built for co-op, but I need to have them on this review with me because it only makes sense for me. So, Man of Medan, as Gary explained, is the first installment of, I believe, 8 segments or 8 games from Supermassive Games, as Gary mentioned, the guys who made Until Dawn. And to give you guys a brief synopsis of what Man of Medan is about, I'm going to try and be as vague as possible because the game has a lot of surprises, especially depending on what era or what plotline you go through, if that's the correct way to say it. But you play as one of 5 characters. You balance between them depending on which situation you're in. And when you're on a trip to basically do some diving, you come across these 3 pirates. And when you come across these guys, it's just nothing but good stuff. Like I mentioned before, Gary and I have been in this game over 3 times, so I should tell you guys how much we liked it already. And now before we go on to our negatives, let's talk about what we liked. So, Gary, what were some of the things that you liked about Man of Medan?
Okay, first off, the thing is, with this game, as a single player, playing a single player is one thing. This is a game, and I'm sure throughout the whole entire anthology, this is a game that is going to be built surrounding co-op. Because
Easily,
the thing
yes.
is, with the co-op, there are so many things that transpires that
Mm-hmm.
you are playing within all the characters that's going on throughout your story. Now, the thing is, since this is an interactive game, with you and your buddy, whoever you're playing with, you can play up to 5 people, which will make
Yeah.
the whole entire game alone a experience. But
Oh,
playing
yes.
playing it alone with 2 people, it's already experience enough. Now, here is the main thing I love about the game. As it progresses, let's just say shit happens one side to another. For example, on my side, I'll be going through a bunch of different things while the other guy goes to another. And
Right.
while you two are going through different things, you will then meet together as one. Either you will end up doing something bad or you will end up be doing something good. It
Mm-hmm.
all depends on how you play out through your side of the
Right.
screen. And that's one of the biggest things I love about the game is that they promise that this co-op is going to be unlike any experience that you have in terms of playing with your buddies in
Yeah.
any game. And they definitely lived up to the word of how they're showcasing themselves in terms of the co-op, and the co-op is fantastic.
Oh, I agree. Every time that we played this game, in particular on the second run when we were playing this game, we didn't always go through the same situations because, of course, we said, okay, let's do one way, let's do a certain thing, a different way, let's do this, another way, see how the plot will progress differently. And one thing I liked in particular is how you experienced the scares, like in the different perspectives. Like for one instance, the beginning of the game, I won't want to spoil it for you, but let me just say, one character will get scared by a certain thing, and I would say, "Holy crap, I saw that!" And Gary would say, "I didn't see that. What did you
Yeah,
see?" And I said, "Dude, I saw a dead kid." He's like, "I didn't see a dead kid, dude."
right there, that is one thing alone, is that if you two are like in the same room, one player will see one thing, the other one won't, or
Hmm.
vice versa. It just depends on what character you start off with in the beginning of the game and
Right.
how you progress. So that right there is interesting.
I do like how you're really supposed to go exploring around and just finding about the history of the ship and basically what went wrong in the beginning of the game, to which again no spoilers, but it's a very interesting game even though the story, which I'll get to in like the negatives, but I do like how you have to go around and investigate to see what the hell happened in the ship. I really dug that aspect of the game a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot of clues
Hmm.
throughout the whole entire ship, like little papers, letters, notes, etc., giving you hints about what happened on the ship, what it's about, how the ship got its name, and what transpired. It
Right.
also gives you clues about what's the name, etc., etc. So the thing is, on paper, it does show you exactly what's going on with the ship. But the
Right.
thing is, I'm not going to say it's very, very vague
N-
that they're not explaining it through.
yeah.
It does explain it, but it's like it all depends on how you're playing throughout the story, because they do manage to explain what transpires on the ship in different ways of how you're progressing in your story.
It really
So,
does.
I do like that, and there's a lot of different scenes. I'm sure there's been some that we haven't explored yet.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
That
there's tons. Yeah.
happen to explain so much more about the ship than what we previously know. Example, the name and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We already know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've been in this game already 3 times the co-op campaign, and I could already tell, even on our third attempt, that there's already still so much more to see out there. It was really interesting to see how, if a certain character was not in a situation, just how differently the situation would come out. And that's something that I really could praise about this game a lot.
You know, that is one thing, since you mentioned that, the replay value.
Oh my god,
That
yeah.
alone is one of the biggest things I love about this. Heavily relies on replay value to a lot of different deals, because the thing is, like Until Dawn, but with this one, you get so many different endings, so many different progressions.
Oh yeah.
How the suspense is built, your jump scares, what happens to the pirates, what happens to the characters, whether it's ending up good or bad, or the overall ending as a whole. Whatever you do, whatever you try and make sure not to fuck up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing, is that, so you got to be very careful in terms so you won't fuck up and ruin it at all.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of the big things I love, is the surprises that you get throughout the whole entire game.
Absolutely. And another thing I think we can both agree on this is that when it comes to the characters, we want to see more of the curator in the next game.
Yeah, the curator alone, he is actually, I have a favorite character. The curator is my favorite because the thing is, he reminds me a lot of Vincent Price.
I can see that a lot, actually.
He reminds me a lot of him, because Vincent Price, if you don't know, he's one of the biggest icons in the horror realm back in the day.
Absolutely,
and he
yes.
reminds me a lot of who he was within the mannerisms, the tone he's coming off, look-wise. I love everything about the curator. Now, the thing is, he is willing enough to give you a bunch of hints, and
Yes.
looking at him alone, not is he amusing to watch, but he's actually very creepy in a very good way. Now, that is another thing, speaking of the curator, the score.
Oh, the score in the game, and that's something I was going to mention. I know you're not really on my side with this, but I do like another character, and that's Conrad. Honest to God, out of all those characters on that boat, Conrad was the one who I actually liked the most out of all those guys.
See, the thing is, with all those characters, I don't have a specific favorite, because the thing is, they all happen to have their flaws.
Now, one thing I will say is that the scares at first, they're not really necessarily the best scares at first, but because it kind of takes a while for the scares to get going. But I would say once you're about like an hour and a half into the game, that's when the scares actually start to get really good. Some of them, like you just mentioned, Gary, the psychological scares, like for one thing, I don't want to spoil for you guys, but it's a scene involving Conrad and Fliss. Dude, both you and I were scared shitless when we saw this.
It was definitely extremely creepy as to what was going on. There was one scene, I'm not going to say what, but let's just say you're playing as Alex and you are exploring one area.
Oh, God, yeah, that was creepy as can be, dude. To say
That's
the
all
least.
I'm going to say about that particular one.
I'll also say one more thing. It's a beautiful looking game, too. It's a damn gorgeous looking game. From how they lay out the level design, from the details, the textures on the characters' faces. If you have a PS4 Pro like myself, the game will look even better from how the lighting hits characters' faces. For the most part, like 95% of the time, the graphics look incredible. But now, we do move on to our negatives, and I will say this right now, we're big fans of Until Dawn. We're huge fans of that game.
Until Dawn is definitely a fun game. Now, the thing is, the same negatives I had with Until Dawn, also the same negatives I have with this one.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of graphics, it is a beautiful looking game, but the thing is, this is probably in co-op mode. I'm not so sure about single, but in co-op there are some technical glitches that happen here and there.
Not just that, but there's performance issues here and there, but those are kind of nitpicks. Now, my biggest issue with the game, besides Conrad and the curator, the characters were fucking annoying, dude.
Yeah, a lot. That's one of the big things why I didn't like all 5 of the characters equally, is that they all have their traits to where they're equally annoying. It comes off extremely obnoxious.
Yeah, very obnoxious. Yes, especially Julia. She was our least favorite character.
She's my least favorite character because she comes off as a prude.
She really does, yeah. And every time that she was on screen, I mean, to be fair, we were always trying to save her just to get a trophy, which we still haven't gotten yet.
Yeah.
But every time that she was on screen, we were just thinking, do we have to save her? Can we just kill her anyways?
Oh, there are plenty of ways. I'm sure there's ways you can, but
Oh
as
yeah.
for her, yeah, she's my least favorite character in the whole film. Now, the thing is, relating to within the characters, it's the line of dialogue.
Oh,
A
easy.
lot of the,
Oh god, the dialogue is
let's
so
just
bad
say,
sometimes.
a good portion of it, at least in the beginning part of the game, dialogue is extremely childish humor.
I mean, now to
That
be fair, Until Dawn was the same way, but the thing is, the tone of that game, it made sense with a lot of the dialogue that happened in that game, where here, some of the dialogue is just so cringe to the point where it's just soap opera-like.
the thing is, a lot of the dialogue, especially with transpires late in the game,
Oh yeah.
it doesn't really fit the mood.
Oh, it
doesn't
doesn't,
fit
yeah.
to the events that's transpiring. It's just like you're making jokes, you're making wrong observations at the wrong time. Where clearly you're supposed to be saying this and that.
Yeah.
Also, there are certain logic aspects that were not there. Like this, for example, a character was supposed to go. Okay, one character put this thing there.
Yeah.
Yet the character is supposed to wait, but no, they do it anyway just to get themselves in trouble. Still, there's very minor logic being used. Now, I'm not saying a lot, but it's very minor because it does tend to annoy you from here and there.
Another thing I will say, and Gary will agree with this completely, but the villains, they were not even intimidating in the slightest.
No, the way that the voice actors were playing.
Oh my god,
it didn't come off as something serious that you can take for a villain. It was more unintentionally.
Yeah, it was humorous.
It is with actually taking them serious. Now, if you want a villain in the game that you can take serious that you want to hate, then gotta get the right person to actually fucking show it and show that you want to hate.
Yeah, dude.
It was ridiculous.
Dude, the main villain especially, the first time I heard him talk, when I played the game at first, and hearing the main bad guy, I had to stop myself from laughing so hard. The voice acting from him especially is just... I don't know if his direction was to just be cartoonish and over the top, but he was a different game in general. And another thing I will say in terms of my negatives is that when it comes to the story of the game, there are a lot of things that they left hanging, and I mean a lot of things. Now, here's the thing. I get that, I mean, it's only a $30 game, and it's only like a 4-hour game, which I will say it justifies the price tag. But at the same time, you can still have a pretty fleshed out story, but still have that nice mystery to it, because there are so many things about that game that are left hanging. I don't know if it's because they were on a rush to get the release, because the next game, A Little Hope, comes out literally in the next 6 to 8 months. It comes out actually in February or March, but still, the game story wasn't as tight as Until Dawn's story.
Nah, it wasn't up to par.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as the Until Dawn story, but it was a nice little story and a nice little introduction to the Dark Pictures anthology that's going to be happening.
When it came to the scares, I feel like that the game does resort a little too heavily on jump scares at times, which I'm not really huge on jump scares, but when the jump scares are good, they are good, but sometimes I just feel like that they relied on too much on the jump scare just for a cheap shock.
Well, the thing is, I'm 50-50s with the jump scares now. There were some that were really good.
Oh yeah, some of them were great.
Game. But as for the beginning factor, like, oh, you get scared by a fucking fish or a rat or a mouse,
yeah, it's just
like that to me is.
It was silly.
Really,
it was stupid.
That stuff alone is just silly. But if it's like, for example, a fucking zombie head falling out and scare you out of nowhere, now that's a jump scare because it's out of nowhere.
Yeah, I do wish the game was longer, to be honest, because I mean,
I did too.
Yeah, because I mean, again, the game is only $30, and I think when we last finished the game, it took us 3.5 hours to finish it. Where on our second run, it took us about 4 hours to get.
The thing is with this game, I realize that even though it's a short game, but to really get a full actual thought to the events, make your mind full. This is one of those games where you have to take that replay value and just keep on going till you get that full 100% thought to all the questions that you have that you need answers to what happened on the ship, what's going on with these characters, what happened transpired, because like I said, there's a lot of things that happen that aren't really answered in that first, second, maybe third playthrough.
I agree, but I would give Man of Medan, I'd give this game a 7.5 out of 10. there's a lot of issues I have with the game in terms of the storyline, the characters themselves, the villains especially. But I will say though, I had a good time playing this game, and all 3 times I played this game with you, Gary, and I know I'm gonna play this game even more. I know I will by myself, and there is a movie night mode in which you can actually do couch co-op with 4 other people, which I want to do. That sounds fun.
Overall thought about it, is this game better than Until Dawn? No. But this right here is a very nice introduction to this new series that's going to be coming out within the Dark Pictures. I like this. I like the introduction for this. It is a fun game to play with a buddy. Alone, I can't really get that same satisfaction with a buddy, because the thing is, with a buddy, you get to communicate, you get to make wise decisions, you get to help each other out, teamwork, so you can get the proper ending or not. There are a lot of different goals that you can get in terms of collecting trophies to a lot of decisions. This is a very nice game to play. I did like it, so minus several flaws, it is a solid, positive, passable rating. Same exact deal, 7.5 out of 10.
Alright guys, so that was our review / discussion on Dark Pictures Anthology Man of Medan. Guys, please comment, let us know below. Have you played this game yet? Did you guys like it? Did you even hate it? Are you guys looking forward to the next installment, Little Hope? Let us know below. Gary, thank you so much for joining with me on this review. And I hope you guys enjoyed Gary and I's review of Man of Medan. If so, please hit that like button, share, subscribe if you guys want to see more reviews just like this one. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for whenever a new video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 game reviews, please click either on the left or right side of the screen. And of course, until my next game review, I will see you guys next time.
Whoa, careful. Could be dangerous.
Ladies first?